Hey guys, this is Jay Link and welcome to my next LBX review. This time we're looking at LBX number 58, D Regiudea. Now, bit of spoilers for the rest of the review. I love this guy. He's my favorite LBX design so far. And he's just really cool. I'm very excited to be checking him out with you guys. Once again, I didn't mention this in detail in my previous video, but I apologize for the poor video quality. I don't have a good enough camera array at the moment, so I'm using my younger brother's laptop, which has a built-in webcam, but his laptop's from like 2012, 2013, so it only records at 240p, which really sucks. I promise I'm going to get a better camera at a later date, but in the meantime, this is all I have to work with. But anyway, let's set him off to the side and take a look at his packaging that he comes with, his nice little LBX box. I'm going to pull this in. Now, once again, I really always like the box designs for LBXs, and I wish I had, I'm going to move the camera a bit, I wish I had a better camera to show this off, but this box is beautiful. I mean, you guys need to, if you guys like this, look up this image. You're gonna have to when you're finding the box on like Amazon or eBay, but it's just awesome. It shows off both of his modes. He has normal mode in the background, which is really cool with his normal sword, and then the Ragnarok phase. And if anybody watches Wars but hasn't seen that guy, Ragnarok phase should be very familiar with you. And there's a good explanation for that we'll get to. And here's the bottom of the box, which shows him in his normal mode, core gimmick, his weapons in his multi-gimmick sack, his Ragnarok phase, which looks even better in person, even though this is painted. I mean, this is a normal model kit in the normal line, so obviously paint says stickers, and we'll get to that when we get to that. Picture of his Ragnarok phase from the back, and then a cartoon drawing kind of thing of what the wings look like, which are really neat. Look to the side, and it shows LBX 58. Probably says Danball Senki there, and basically shows the front. The same on this side. And this side it shows a customization, which is pretty cool. It has, right there is the Emperor Mark III/Mark V, which I mentioned in my previous video. There's Dot Blaze, who I also mentioned in my previous video. I really still want him. I haven't obtained him yet. And those two are combined with D Regiudea. They use Regiudea's body, Regiudea, whatever, there's no S. Regiudea's body, Emperor's arms and weapons, and then Dot Blastrizer, Dot Blaze's head. And that's a really cool customization too, if you ask me. Looks really badass. Said really cool. And there's another picture of his Ragnarok phase in a really nice pose. That's a really cool pose. And the box is upside down now. So that was the box. Now let's take a look at the manual. Give me a moment. And here is his manual. Cool pictures, product images. Now, I stressed this in my previous review, and I'm going to mention every one of them. This is a painted image here of D Regiudea. I keep butchering that name, I apologize. I call it D Reg because that's so much easier. Anyway, cool paint jobs here by a professional modeler. They build it a lot better than us to clean it up, and they paint it. And it looks really nice there. Ragnarok phase all painted at the rear of it. Actually, this little detail here, when I show you the actual model kit, that's actually my biggest pet peeve with this guy. And the actual manual itself is a pamphlet, like the previous one I showed you. And very easy steps, all in color, numbered off of where they are on the sprue. And just like Lucifer, this guy isn't a conversion model. I forgot to stress that last time. But it is, it's based off of a certain model, which I'm going to show off in a minute. The difference is a conversion model has all the parts to make LBX in the main line, and then in recolored, it's like a different color, like Dot Blaze for example. It's a conversion model because it comes with Dot Phasers parts in tan, and then it comes with the Dot Blaze parts. Shadow Lucifer doesn't do that. What he has is his parts, but Bandai, I wouldn't call them lazy per se, but when they do a recolor and a remold, they keep some of the old sprues, and you end up getting old parts that still work with the guy for the most part, which is kind of funny if you ask me, but kind of weird. And this guy has the same situation, and it actually is beneficial if you like customization. We'll get to that when I show off the actual model. So if you guys give me a moment, I will get the model ready. And here is D Regiudea himself. I'm sorry, for some reason I keep throwing an S at the end of his name. There's no S. But anyway, here's the model kit, and he looks freaking awesome. As I say, he's my favorite. He's my favorite. I love him. But he has one major issue we're about to get into, and that's his stickers. I mean, they're the first thing I'm talking about. Alright, so his head here, I'm just going to remove it so I can get it up close to the camera. Set his body off to the side. His head, these are all one big sticker. Even the yellow in there. And what they do is they kind of go on this side and they wrap around and they go on the inner of the next part because this plastic sticks through, and vice versa here does the same thing and goes through. And that is terrible because the yellow ones are hard to wrap through and they show off a lot of blue there even if you got it lined up the right way like I do. It just doesn't work as well as it should. I mean, the stickers are really shiny, I like that, but other than that, it's really annoying. I mean, they got some stickers here and here. Some ones that are hidden that we're going to take a look at when we go to Ragnarok phase. I'm actually going to show off his stickers there because some things open up. And it shows off my #1 complaint we're going to talk about. Well, that's the stickers on the head. And those are the second worst ones. Well, actually, those are the second worst ones. We're going to get to the worst ones in a minute. On his torso, or his arms, he has this sticker here, which is the only sticker on this entire body I have no issues with. It went on really, really easy. Looks nice. It just has like a little scratch there. This is one solid sticker, because one thing LBX does really well is that they make some, if they're going to have a sticker that's the same color as the plastic, it looks like the plastic. I mean, you have to know that's a sticker, or look at it really, really close for a long time to figure out that blue in between the two white is a sticker. It's not the plastic here, which is really, really cool. There's stickers in here to hide the blue from his Ragnarok phase. They're on both of the little white triangular stickers to hide those there. No stickers on the rest of the arms, thankfully. There's blue stickers here on these yellow, and they're kind of a pain to put on there. They get a little scratched up after a while. Just make sure you pick them up like this. There's some on the pointy part, so you don't bump those. He's got more stickers down here that are the same as these. They wrap around this red piece here. There's a red sticker on the blue back there, which looks really nice. That one's not in the way at all. There are stickers wrapping around these knees, which are kind of a pain. I wish those were plastic. One on both sides. And there's stickers on the toes. And I didn't put some stickers on, and think of this from the mentality of somebody that's building this guy for 2 hours, and all the other stickers were a pain. There are 6 little stickers right here, 3 on this side, 3 on this side, on the scrapies, that are red stickers to cover those up. No. They get scuffed. My brother put them on Blastrizer, because this guy takes a lot of cues from Blastrizer. He put those stickers on, they're already coming off, and it's a pain. I didn't even want to bother at that point. I mean, I still love putting this guy together, but his stickers are terrible, and that's my only real main complaint. And we're about to get to the worst parts. See, he has his main weapons. Oh, by the way, his multi-gimmick sack, except for the weapons, are all plastic, thankfully. There's not one sticker, and that made me very happy when I was doing that. But anyway, his armaments, his weapons, are these 2 swords, and they're really, really cool. I love the design. But the stickers are just god-awful. This is 2 blue chunks of plastic. I mean, this actually splits here. for the Ragnarok phase. But basically these are two big pieces of plastic, blue plastic, that just have stickers on them to make all the red. And it's not even like all of the stickers are red. As I said, they're really good at hiding the fact that they use the same colored plastic and stickers together. So a lot of the blue on the circular part here on the inside, except for these little notches I'm squeezing right here that come out of the circle, are stickers because they have to be connected to the red ones. Makes it easier to line up. And there's a sticker, one whole sticker here, 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 and here. And they wrap around. They're not too much of a pain to put on, but you gotta make sure you line those up. But the worst of the bunch is these stickers that go all the way up this whole blade. There's one on each side. It doesn't even wrap. There's just one on each side. And they go all the way up, and they're a pain to line up and a pain to put on. They don't touch half the time, especially since you gotta do this. Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. You gotta put 8 stickers on both of these guys. Then there's these circular ones, which aren't that big of a pain. Okay, all the stickers on this guy I am removing after this review at some point, and I'm painting it because I love this model kit too much for him to have all these crappy stickers on there. I mean, they're good quality stickers, but the way you have to put them on, the weapons and everything on, like his head especially, just too big of a pain in the butt. I mean, I'm just going to paint him, which is going to be fun. But that's enough of me rambling on about the whole sticker mishap. Let's look at the articulation of this guy after we remove the weapons. I'm also going to take off his entire multi-gimmick sack so we can look at the articulation of the guy himself. Now he's got the normal ball jointed arm, goes all the way around. The multi-gimmick sack obviously will get in the way of his back and upward movement, but for most poses you don't want him up that high. And these white fin things here also kind of bump in the multi-gimmick sack. I'll show that off in a minute, but for the most part, he has great articulation in his arms. His shoulder arms don't get in the way shoulder pads don't get in the way that much. They go out about this far. So doesn't go 80 degrees or anything like Shadow Lucifer's practically did, but they go pretty high up. I mean, that's really nice. Rotate, whatever. They got a swivel here, which I forgot to show off in Shadow Lucifer. There's a swivel here, 90 degree joint here, which is nice. Goes 90 degrees, a lot better than Lucifer's did. Ball jointed wrists, so you can get a lot of movement there. The waist has the normal connection port here. See, it's got the ball because this comes after Danball Senki WARS and Danball Senki Double. So they got this little joint here. He's too heavy, especially with his multi-gimmick sack, to get the ball joint out. The only LBX I've really seen that can do the whole ball jointed thing in his waist is D-Ezeldee. He's really good at that. And that's only because, for the most part, he's very small and his torso is very light. He doesn't have a lot of big things weighing him down, so he can do that. But that's a different model. Anyway, and then his hip joint. Here's where I have some problems with him, with his articulation. I'm going to move the arm back. These things stick up past where the ball joint actually meets, and they're far forward for his Ragnarok phase, because Dot Blastrizer had the same thing. So his leg goes in this far, out this far, and when it's in, it can't really go up anywhere. It has to move out if you want any upward articulation. You kick you right in the face, and it goes back like this, but then this plastic piece gets in the way of this butt piece here, and you know, it goes out about this far, in about that far. Both of them work really well. It's just that forward thing is kind of annoying. He's got a really good bend in the knee, little, like, I think 90 degrees, maybe a little more, a little less, around that area. Really nice, I like that. It's got a ball joint in the foot. It goes forward this far, back this far, and side to side. It's really nice. Both feet obviously can do that. So articulation on this guy's much better than Shadow Lucifer. It's the same as Dot Blastrizer because he uses pretty much the same parts. I mean, nothing gets in the way any more than that guy. So if you have a Dot Blastrizer, or you've seen a review of him, you kind of have the same idea of how this guy can move around. And we're going to put him in the background here so we can look at his multi-gimmick sack. And this part also is ball jointed. It can spin around, but not very easily when it's attached to him, obviously. It can go out this far, which is nice. It can go in, not that far. It can go in about this far, rotate, swivel, goes on both sides. As you saw there, the ball joint's attached really odd. The hole there is very shallow, and the ball joint itself is kind of tilted like a little high up. It's not straight out of the multi-gimmick sack, so it has a bit of issues. I mean, moving without popping off, and since he has these giant things sticking off the top, unlike Blastrizer, those will hinder articulation pretty bad on his back. So they're just good enough to move out of the way for the most part, but you're not going to do anything crazy with them or anything. But as I said, it's a little disappointing, but for the most part, I understand why it's built the way it is. This piece is cool. You see what this is here, I'll try to remove it. It's kind of a pain. This piece is actually just a cover, and it's a really cool looking cover. I like what they did here, because this is the same exact piece. The centerpiece is the same exact piece from Blastrizer. The only ones that are different are these ones here, and that's only because of these spikes. This is the same piece that the shield went into. So they had this little cover to cover it up, because the only weapons this guy gets, for the most part, is his swords, instead of all Blastrizer's weaponry. But this doesn't weigh him down all that bad. It's actually pretty nice how it goes on there. I got that crooked. It's pretty nice. He can stand because he's got heels, which is nice. Not all LBXs have really good heels, and it makes it so he can pretty much stand any way you need him to. So articulation was really nice, and we'll give him his swords. As I mentioned in my previous review, the back covers of his hands can come off, by the way. Let's keep sliding, actually. As I mentioned in my Shadow Lucifer review, it started with Danball Senki Double, I think. I saw some reviews with them. But instead of the covers that stick the hands together, there's actually just this little rubber piece that actually holds the hands, and the hand holds the weapons and anything else you want in his hands. So the hands just kind of slide onto it. Now that's great for gripping and everything. It's much easier. The back of the hand obviously won't fall off. If you're just doing that, he's got a serious issue. But anyway, but the problem with it is that when you try to put something forward through his hand, you're gripping the hand, the whole hand will slide off the rubber part. So that gets really annoying. That's why I put my shields, excuse me. That's why I put my shields the way I do on my guys. I put them backwards so that way they don't have to worry about that hand problem. Anyway, let's give him his swords, and here and there. Try to slide the hand. Kind of grab the forearm. Put that sword back together, and there we go. Now, since we showed the articulation and the weapons, I'm going to move on to show you a bit. It's kind of a spoiler. I had to do some research for this guy, and because he's not in the show, and I don't play the Danball Senki video games that the show and the toys are actually based off of to begin with. So what we're going to do is take a look at the two model kits from the show that technically make up this guy. So when I first got a look at screenshots for D Regiudea here, I thought he was really cool, but I wanted to know what his backstory was, because as I mentioned, he's not in the show as of now. At the time of this recording, they've only had Danball Senki, Danball Senki Double, and Danball Senki WARS, and the LBX show in America, which is just the first season, but quite frankly, it is kind of dumbed down for American kids in a lot of ways, but that's a different video I'm probably not making. Anyway, For people that know about Dot Blastrizer, who's the one I'm having a lot of trouble with, getting him to stand properly over here. Anyway, for a lot of people that know about Dot Blastrizer and have been watching my review, they notice that he has a lot in common with Blastrizer. There's a really good reason for that. His backstory is that, here's a bit of spoilers from the TV show, but the main bad guy of Danball Senki WARS, LBX Chrysler, after the debacle of Danball Senki, the island that they were on, and at the school that they were in, LBX Chrysler's son took the designs of both D-Ezeldee, which is this guy over here, and Blastrizer, which I said is this guy over here, and combined them together into his own LBX. I don't know if he's the one that used it or whatever, because I said I just know what I read on wikis, but anyway, D Regiudea is a combination of these two. So he has a lot of design cues, obviously, from Blastrizer. He has the Ragnarok phase exactly like Blastrizer, but cooler in my opinion. And he's got the sword bits from D-Ezeldee there. D-Ezeldee had those really cool bits that flew around and did all the fighting for him in the show. Turned lasers, swords, and a shield. His D Regiudea here, I don't think this turns into a shield because it doesn't come with those effect parts. We'll see them when they turn him into Ragnarok phase. But he turns into Ragnarok phase just like Blastrizer, and then his swords turn into bits just like D Regiudea's sword bits, and they start flying around. Now obviously he doesn't have a part for that. And you can still get him to hold the swords in Ragnarok phase. I'll show that off later. But I just think that's really cool to know his backstory. And here's a bonus for the fact that I mentioned earlier that he kind of comes with a little bit of extra customization for those enthusiasts out there, because he came with some extra Blastrizer parts that my brother decided to use. If you have a keen eye and you know what Blastrizer is normally supposed to look like, you'd know that this piece here, is right above the rad and below the neck, is supposed to be white. So is his feet, the toes here. They're supposed to be white. And these doors on the back are supposed to be white. That's the coolest thing, one of the coolest things about D Regiudea here, is that he came with extra parts. And since I got my guy right before he got Blastrizer and Shadow Lucifer, I gave him the permission to use those extra parts to customize him a little bit. Now, it doesn't do too much for his looks, but he kind of sees it as his own little personalized version. And I just think that's a really cool extra little thing that you get when you get D Regiudea. So I thought that was really nice. Alright, enough of me rambling and acting like a nerd, even though I'm doing this entire video. Anyway, we're going to take a look at D Regiudea's Ragnarok phase. So stay tuned for that. So here's what Dot Blastrizer's Ragnarok phase looks like, and I think it's a lot cooler than the original version, in my opinion, in normal mode, and it's really, really cool. I like it. And as I mentioned before, oh, I forgot some pieces. These pieces go up. Stay put. Anyway, these pieces go up, and these back parts come out. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, it looks really cool because all these things open up and you swap some parts and it shows off a lot of yellow. I think it's a really cool design for an LBX. Now, D Regiudea does this too, but in my opinion it's a lot cooler. So I just wanted to show you what, for a comparison, what this looks like first. We're going to take a look at it again in a minute, but I'm going to go take you guys step by step on how to do the same thing with D Regiudea. So let's take a look at that. So basically, you take D Regiudea here, you take his swords, and you throw all these pieces on him. All these beautifully blue, translucent pieces that look so nice. I love these. I mean, their old D Regiudea looks so nice, but with these on, you guys will know what I'm talking about in a minute. Anyway, so first thing we're gonna do is open up a few things. One great thing that they did with D Regiudea as opposed to Dot Blastrizer is Dot Blastrizer, you had to take apart the head. You had to take this bottom jaw piece off and swap it with something else. You had to take this front piece off and swap it with something else. D Regiudea does not have to do that. All of it is in mechanics in its head, which is a huge step up for him compared to Dot Blastrizer. Anyway, with him, you just take this and you move these down like this, and then you do the same thing on this side. And then on this side. There we go. Come on, get a hold of it, dude. There we go. Doing this behind a laptop computer is kind of a pain in the ass. Anyway, take it like that. Then you move, you see where the eyes are in there? Normally it's up like this, you got the yellow eyes. You just push this down, and it shows the blue eyes that were behind these yellow parts. And these come down. This part comes down and opens up. Alright, it's kind of, I'm doing this behind a laptop that's in front of me, so I can use the webcam attached to it. So it's kind of a pain in the butt to do. Anyway, so it opens up like this, and you kind of get this cool lizardy face going on here. The things on the top, it looks really nice. Lizardy face with horns. Anyway, so you do that, and then you grab this, and this is the only thing I've had to glue on this guy, is that this part was always flying off every time I tried to do this, and when I actually pulled this blue thing out. Anyway, just grab it, pull it out, and then you open up the shoulder, and it reveals some more nice translucent blue. Do the same thing over here, you open that up, put your thumb here, and because I grab this and it falls down, but it's up like that, and you just push it down, and it shows a little tiny bit of blue, and the knees pull outward, and it shows off some more blue, and the backs come up and shows up blue. Now here's something I did, because I'm a combination of an idiot, too strong for my own good, and very clumsy, and I broke the foot really bad on this guy. See, in this foot there's this blue translucent plastic, and I kind of accidentally destroyed it. Broke into 3 pieces because I was actually trying to swap this piece out for the blue one that was on Blastrizer's toe to see how it would look. And it's a really strong connection, and this whole thing snapped. Because blue translucent plastic is really, really fragile, and it's kind of a bummer. But anyway, so what I had to do is I ended up gluing this entire piece to the foot here. So it can't do the full Ragnarok phase there. But what it's supposed to do, like Blastrizer, is this goes down, and then this claw piece goes down. Now this is much better than Blastrizer's, because if you look, it's solid on the ground. There's more surface area because of these claws. But since I messed it up, you can only do the heel on this side, and you can't really do the toe. So you can put it in a pose like this and just get them in a way where the foot's down, and maybe have an upward pose like that where it looks like his toe is on the ground. Because when he's like this, his wings hold him up, which looks kind of funny. Or you can just have them both so the claws don't go down, so you can stand flat-footed. I said that's not a problem with the model, that's just me being dumb and unlucky and not careful enough, and I broke it. So we're going to ignore my mistakes for a few more minutes and continue on with the video. So anyway, you pull off the hands. Oh, also you got to open these vents. These little vents in the arms. Just pull it up like that. It reveals more blue. Pop on the hands. There. Pop on the replacement hands. And there. So you get the nice translucent blue Wolverine claws. Now these are Wolverine. The other ones for Blastrizer, my brother says it really nice. He says like Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where he's got those 2 blades coming out of his hands. That's what I think about it too. It looks really cool. The legs, these parts, this still goes up. See, like that. Moves up, just like Blastrizer's. But just like Blastrizer's, they never stay up, so I never bother with them. I mean, there's no point. They don't add very much. You can barely see them unless you're holding a light like right there. There's just no point, and it is that they don't stay up. Anyway, so you go to the back here, and you flip these up, and then you kind of push them in with those extra claw things so they stick. And then you can open this up on both sides and pull this outward a bit like that, so he has these wings that stick out. Then you take this great blue translucent piece and you slide that in there. Make sure it's in all the way. Do that for both sides. It's much bigger than Blastrizer's. And then you take this other blue translucent piece that only has one spike instead of two, and you slide that on down here, get it all lined up. So you slide both of those on. This upside down. And slide that in. And you can actually set it so the wings are touching the ground. However you feel like, you can get it so the wings are touching the ground. So he can stand in Ragnarok phase so much easier. Because otherwise he has some serious issues. Try and get him into a nice pose here for you guys. And girls. Anybody watching this, I don't expect a lot of people to. I should stop rambling. Oh, his arm came off. He's still completely able to be swapped around with the other LBXs. He has the chest gimmick. I'm just not going to show him off in these videos because there's so much I have to talk about with this guy that would just kind of be overkill and would probably be a bit boring. So it's just the same as every other model kit with the extra stuff. Anyway, so you get his head down like that. It has these big, nice wings, and it gets even better from there. Because what you do is you take the swords, and as you saw earlier on accident, these split in half like this. So you get this part without a handle and this part with a handle. With the one with the handle, you take this blue translucent piece and you stick it on there. Like that. Then for the ones without the handle, right here, you take this blue translucent piece and you stick it on there. Now this one kind of has a little double peg there. So it goes on either one. And then you take the normal sword here, the blue, and the peg, and you line it up with this hole so it attaches like this. Now you do that on both swords. Just attach that here. Attach that here. Attach them both there. And there we go. Got a hair stuck in it. Sorry about that. So that one side. Now you take these two and you attach them where they go, where the swords go for storage, like that. And then you can angle them. And they all add to the wings. And what's cool is those parts could fly around, I assume, since they're bits, fly around and hit people and stuff like that. But they're stored on the wings to make them look even nicer. And you just do the same thing with the other one on the other side. Looks really nice. And there is D Regiudea's Ragnarok phase. Now here is him right next to Dot Blastrizer, and you can judge for yourself which one you like better. I think they're both really nice and really cool. I like the Ragnarok phases. It's just I like Regiudea better for his color scheme overall, the way he looks, the fact that he has Wolverine claws. And I much prefer the fully translucent blue, like you can see my whole finger through that, and that's how it is on all the blue, as opposed to this more rubbery, you can kind of see my shadow yellow. But they're both really sweet, and if you have him, get him, and vice versa, because you can have like some cool battle poses with these two, both in normal mode fighting with his shield, swords, and guns, and his swords, and or in Ragnarok phase, like claw to claw, face to face kind of thing, make them look really cool. Now, there's one more thing I'm going to show off with D Regiudea, I found on my own that isn't in the instructions, but I kind of wanted to do it because Dot Blastrizer in the show can hold his normal weapons in these hands, even though they have problems because they're not constructed the same way other hands are. But he can still hold his weapons. So I decided to make it so D Regiudea could, and I came up with something really cool. So set this off to the side. And the swords, since they're back here now with translucent plastic, I like to take both of them off the wings, because the wings look cool enough without them. I mean, they're just an addition. Looks really nice. Anyway, do that on both sides. Kind of a pain to get them off. Anyway, so you fold these up, put them on the sides, and you take the claws off, just like Blastrizer, on both sides. And you can take the hand covers to the normal hands, these red ones, in front of the camera, these red ones here. You can put these on the back of its hands because it's the same kind of mechanism, which also means you can put the blue claws on the other hands if you would like. That would actually make this easier, but I just like how this looks. Nice, cool. I like its blue translucent hands, but to each their own. You can do whatever you want with your LBX. But anyway, take it like that. In the sword, you're supposed to put them like this on the back, but if you line them up, even though they're sword bits and they're supposed to be flying around, you line them up and get them in there right. They kind of make this cool double sword with translucent plastic. And you put that in the back here, put it in his hands. You do the same thing on the other side. Now he has these two ginormous double-bladed swords. Now they're a little bit hard for him to hold with these hands because they have no rubber on the inside of their hands. They're really loose here. And he has like almost no grip on the hand joints, just like the normal Blastrizer. He had the same issues. But you can tell me yourself, you can judge by yourself. Crap, the wing fell off. Anyway, you can judge by yourself, but to me, this is really freaking cool. Two swords and the wings. It's really nice. And sorry I put my camera again. And if I had an extra light to show off, I could show you how the translucent plastic looks in the background, but I don't have one on me. But just take my word for it, it's really freaking sweet. Now, earlier I mentioned when I was going over the stickers, there's one thing that really bothers me about them that really makes me like just hate them. I want to paint them. Like the stickers are my only complaint with this guy. He is just so cool. It's just the stickers really annoy me. And that's inside the head right here. You see, in the painted product image, which I'll pick up for you now, the inside of his head has the red and yellow in it. And I know this is painted, but that makes the Ragnarok phase itself look even more awesome and impressive than this, where it just has a yellow that folds in. And no, they don't fold in very well either. They get reds and there's blue. That needs a sticker or a chunk of plastic, because if you look at the normal Blastrizer, I'll just take off his head for now. There's supposed to be a sticker in there, but he's got translucent blue plastic that you don't see when the head's closed. Why didn't they do the same thing for for D Regiudea here? I mean, that would have looked really nice with a translucent chunk of red. Hell, you could have even put a translucent chunk of blue. I don't care. As long as there was something in there to make it match Blastrizer a little bit more, I thought that would have looked really nice, and that's my only real complaint. And it's more with the design of the model itself than it is with the robot. I mean, he looks freaking awesome. He looks like he's gonna whoop your robot's ass or butt. I'm trying to stay PG here. And he just looks really, really cool. And I couldn't recommend him more. I mean, I got him for $20.15. And you get him with the Nairo LBX and you get an even $35 on Amazon. That's really, really nice. Really good. You get free shipping when you do that for Amazon Prime. If you have Amazon Prime, you already get 2-day free shipping, which is awesome. And you can get this guy as fast as you need to get him. But there's just so much cool stuff you can do with him. He's got so many nice... He only has 2 real weapons, unless you count the claws that he comes with. But they look really, really cool, especially with the translucent plastic. I mean, when I display them, even in normal mode, I don't have the two sword parts put together. I just have the sword with the translucent plastic because it just looks really nice. But he is awesome. I love him. I couldn't recommend him more, and I just think he's super cool. All he needs is a recolor and a Dot Phoenix type thing for Blastrizer, and he would be the best things ever. That's it for this video. I mean, I could talk literally all night about how cool I think this guy is. So, judge for yourself and see which one you like better. Between him and Blastrizer, Blastrizer GX, if you like Blastrizer GX, the red version with the big plane. I really want D Regiudea to have it. And hopefully they'll make another season after Wars and D Regiudea comes in. Because they already got a backstory for him according to the wiki. I assume that wiki page I read is just what this yellow section here says in Japanese. I can't read Japanese, even though I really, really want to. But I'm going to stop rambling now, and I'm just going to end the video. So, take care, everybody.